In this episode you're going to see Lamborghini's smaller model, the Lamborghini Gallardo. It was launched with a 500 horsepower engine, 6-speed manual and sequential gearbox. What we figured out when it came out that it was not that really fast, the 500 horsepower version. But after that the Gallardo SE with 520 horsepower came, the Superleggera with 530 horsepower I believe. But when the really big difference came was when the Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 was introduced, which was back in October 2009. The first LP560 was delivered to Hollywood and the second was delivered to Gothenburg. We put that in action just a few days after it was delivered. I was really impressed the big difference of the LP560 compared to the older Gallardo versions.
Gustav Super Races shows you the world's fastest cars put against each other in adrenaline-filled drag races. Gustav runs a successful YouTube channel with soon over 200 million views and a great reputation within the world of racing. In this show, he will present the best races he's ever organized, with rare supercars from Bugatti, Koenigsegg, Ferrari, and other top brands. These races share a unique look with the raw performance of the world's fastest cars.
Here we have the standard Nissan GTR race a Lamborghini Gallardo 500 horsepower with the optional E-gear sequential shift system. The Gallardo also has a 2B aftermarket exhaust system which makes it sound beautiful. It's evident how the Nissan GTR's double clutch gearbox makes the acceleration seamless compared to the E-gear of the Gallardo. Here we have a standard Nissan GTR race the updated version of the Gallardo, the LP564. It's quite a large difference between these in acceleration, and the upgraded Gallardo really goes much better than the standard Gallardo.
Fantastiska växlingar här liksom. Man känner inte ens, det bara...
Nej, det är precis sömlöst liksom.
Ja.
Here we have two beautiful cars, both with a V10. It's the BMW M6 Coupe with a V10, and we have the upgraded Gallardo, the LP564. It's evident here which is the true sports car and which one is more of a Grand Tourer when you see the difference in performance. In this race we have the special version of the Gallardo, the LP550 Valentino Balboni, to race the Ferrari 458 Italia. It's going to be a quite close race.
Redo? Ja, har de vinkat framåt? Vänsterspåret kanske är kortare.
Vi får köra en gång till. Nu är det 1-1, alltså vi måste köra en gång till.
Ja. Kvitteldubbel.
So let's do this race again and see if it is as close as it was in the earlier race.
Third race.
Är det fritt fram eller?
Ja, det är fritt fram.
Då kör vi. Eller? Ja, med.
So here we have two V10 power cars again, but one car is a estate, a family car. It's the BMW M5 Touring with a V10 and headers and exhaust from Super Sprint, which adds 40 horsepower. So it has around 550 horsepower. It will race the significantly lighter Lamborghini Gallardo with 500 horsepower and E-gear, and that has a tube exhaust. So expect nice sound from this pair of V10s.
Bromsa tror jag. Ja, jag tror han saktar ner. Ja. Ja, nu gick växlingen bra.
Here we have the Gallardo LP564, the upgraded one, will race the Superleggera version of the 500 horsepower Gallardo. So it's the second generation Gallardo that will race the race version of the first generation of Gallardo. The Superleggera is what you can say the 430 Scuderia to the F430. So the Superleggera is significantly lighter than the LP560, but the LP560 has more power. Let's see how this matchup will go.
vi?
Vet inte. 285, 290.
290. Ska vi låta han köra lite för.
Here we have a close race. Once you come up to like the top performer of the sports cars today, like the later 911 Turbo, the 458 Italia, the 599, the LP560, LP570, the performance is quite similar. If you throw in a Ferrari 599 GTB with its V12, 620 horsepower, and you race it against the somewhat lighter, more track-oriented, not so Gran Turismo focused LP560, you will have a close race. Let's check it out.
Varmt och skönt.
Ja, mycket varmt och skönt. Så jämnt det där.
Ja, jag kunde optimera växeln lite till tror jag.
Ja, det kändes som du hittade varvstoppet på en omväxel där.
Ja. Sen även 5 till 6. Jag trodde inte jag skulle gå i så pass. Men jag gjorde en växel lite för tidigt. Eller?
Ja.
Vi gick in nästan innan röd.
Precis.
Ja, kör vi igen då.
Ja, testa igen då, se. Ja, för det...
Det var lite spinnande ändå.
Okej.
Vi får se.
Ja, det kändes som att de var jävligt jämna faktiskt.
Han körde med fönstret öppet då.
Gjorde han? Ja, okej.
Riktig raggare.
So here we have a very nice race. We have the, at the time, brand new Lamborghini Gallardo LP564 versus the top dog Murcielago LP640. It has a 640 horsepower V12 and is derived from the Murcielago. So let's race the Murcielago versus the LP560.
Drar du där nere?
Ja, jag kan dra upp den. Det var helt jämnt va?
Ja, han var ju...
Det var lite, kändes som att han stack iväg lite. Det var lite dåligt grepp i starten där precis. Men sen tror jag att det var helt jämnt faktiskt.
So when you have a family sedan with a V10 and twin turbo, then it's the Audi RS6. Go down to MTM in Germany, tune it with a ship and exhaust, and it will give you 730 horsepower, up from 580. Match that significantly heavier car to the LP560 Gallardo and see how it goes.
väldigt mjuk. Den bara sticker den där.
Hur många billängder var det, tror du?
Det kan ha varit 2 billängder.
So here we have a really crazy race. This time one of my friends came from Russia to visit me in his Lamborghini Superleggera. But this Superleggera is not a standard one. He installed a roll cage. He sent the car down to US to underground racing based out of Texas. They add a twin turbo system to the Gallardo Superleggera, which makes it produce 1,500 horsepower. And it will race a 900 horsepower Nissan GTR tuned locally here in Sweden by a company called AG. We had a GPS equipment in the underground racing Gallardo, and during this particular race the car reached 344 kilometers per hour on GPS on this little short stretch. Completely unbelievable.
GTR 900 horsepower versus underground racing Gallardo 550.
This race we had a Porsche 911 GT2, which came up all the way from France. It's tuned by Protomotive and VR Racing, French company. It has around 1,000 horsepower. It has lighter windows, Lexan windows, everything is made for power. And it will give a shot to try to race this underground racing Gallardo with 1,500 horsepower. But still like a 500 horsepower difference between these two cars. So the speeds these cars had on this stretch is just unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah, Porsche 996 Turbo VR Racing Modified versus Gallardo Underground.
Can we make another system on the cone, or maybe the cone liar, you know, because we can start at 3. It's not good, I have my lag, but...
This race is the Lamborghini LP560-4 Gallardo versus the Swedish Koenigsegg CCR Evolution. It's 806 horsepower versus 560 horsepower. But it's also less weight in the Koenigsegg than in the Gallardo. It's like a 300 kilos difference. So the Koenigsegg is like 200-300 kilos lighter and has 200-300 horsepower more. So in effect it's like race LP560 with 2 engines versus LP560 with 1 engine basically. Let's see how it goes.
Man kan ju nästan tjuva lite. Ja, det behöver inte tjuva, men man behöver inte... Okay, LP560 for GTBOARD.com versus... goddag alltså.
Rymdraket.
Gustav Super Races shows you the world's fastest cars put against each other in adrenaline-filled drag races. Gustav runs a successful YouTube channel with soon over 200 million views and a great reputation within the world of racing. In this show, he will present the best races he's ever organized, with rare supercars from Bugatti, Koenigsegg, Ferrari, and other top brands. These races share a unique look with the raw performance of the world's fastest cars.